Namattu Ratana Tayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Today is Friday, the 23rd of April 2021, and this is Achan Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. As usual, I'm here with you all tonight. Hello, Margaret. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So today is Friday. And weather looks like warm and sunshine, but meanwhile the outside is pretty cold. The wind is pretty cold. I hope that Margaret had finished painting the fences yesterday, so you don't have to be in this cold again. We also this morning had a visitor who did some little bit of a gardening. Meanwhile, some little changes at the center and planning for welcoming our members to come back to the center. I hope that we can continue in this way and hope that the COVID will not come back again. Oh, right, have a lot still to do. Okay. Make sure plenty of hot drinks, Margaret. So, I hope that the COVID will not come back as in other countries do nowadays. Like in Thailand, it's getting really worse, and in India also getting really bad. So after this lockdown eases in Scotland, and from Monday most of the shops are going to open, hoping that there won't be any more spread of a coronavirus as other countries. So despite of this release, I would suggest everyone to be mindful of this possibility of spreading. Good evening, Yvonne and Margaret. Oh, Margaret, very big fences. Do you need help from our community? We can come and help, Margaret. Yeah, so it's a very interesting that how this new variant of this coronavirus is spreading in different places in different parts of the world. And I think now any visitor from India has been denied for a certain period of a time, or possibly a few months. Okay, Margaret needs help. Everyone sees painting alone. There's a big fences and it's still not to be done, completed. Anyone who's free, willing to give hand, please text message and we can go and help to finish it. Okay. So when I was looking at the teachings of the Buddha, and it comes with one of the discourses that Buddha was talking, that there are, and this is again not a racist, or this is not about any sexist at all. I'm just telling what is said. that there are people obsessed in the morning, um, in the morning, and dwells at home and obsessed with the heart obsessed with this tent of a selfishness. Yeah, and this selfishness causes a big trouble too, and plenty of people thinking of this selfishness. Okay. Okay, Yvonne is asking that, do you get your chocolate, Margaret? Yes, I've delivered the chocolate. Yvonne, you have a very good memory. Memory to bring me a trouble. Yeah, so, yeah, and yeah, when I was looking at this, thank you, well done. So yeah, when I look at that, the teachings, it says that pretty much a lot of people will be staying at their houses and thinking of their own selfish benefit or benefit for their own purpose, and always working out different ways that how can I get a good service, how can I get a good income, and how can I get a good support, and so on. Always thinking that they are the most important people, and they are the most important person, and this selfishness and always in this way causing a lot of trouble. So that's why the Buddha's teachings, I always take that basic teachings that the Buddha gave to the householders is known as the Dana Sila Bhavana. And I think I have mentioned in my previous talks about giving a dana, that people, even Buddhists, complain to the Buddhist monks that why Buddhist monks are always talking about giving a dana, give a donation, generously give a donation to the temple, like that. And then I felt like this is a misunderstanding is going on here. As we know that as being a householder, you will be working hard and accumulating some salaries and some earnings, so you will be protecting and guarding that for your life. And with that, pretty much, oftentimes what happens is that the mind normally become a very selfish, and thinking of only one's goodness and a benefit, and not regards of any other beings, other people. So that's why giving a dana is, or generosity, giving a donation is one of the ways to overcome this selfishness in one of us, and feeling that we are connected to the community, in the community, and we are also playing a part in the community. And this is, and we can begin from giving a small donations by even sharing a little things would help to overcome this selfishness. But eventually, anyway, again, that the teachings of the Buddha in highest form is to overcome the complete identity of me, mine, and belongs to me. And not only that majority of people will be practicing this selfishness, but also there is a sense of envy as well. Envying others' success, envying others' gain, envying others' fulfillment and prosperity, and so on. This also brings not only unhappiness in the present life, but also, according to the teachings, it suggests that after destruction of your life, in this human flesh, when you are reborn in any other realms, you will be in a very miserable and a difficult place too. So that's why this a thought of envious thoughts also, although we are having it, we have to learn to so-called sympathy or empathy, rejoicing on others' success and rejoicing on others' prosperity and rejoicing others' capability. I think in a Western world we are having this very difficult, and sometimes it is also known as the emotional impairment, inability to rejoice and inability to celebrate others' success. Rather than celebrating others' success, there will be envious thought that how can I get that, or how can I be in that position, or even thinking that I supposed to be getting that place rather than that person, so on. And this envious can be not only an individual, but also can be in a country wise or community wise as well. So that can be a disaster too. And further on, the most difficult one is the sensual lust. And the sensual lust is, as we know, it's quite a serious one, and quite a very delicate as well. And this sensual lust, it is like, particularly in the evening, if you're a householder, then probably most of the time will be thinking about the sensual lust. And one of the reasons behind the monks are not allowed to eat in the evenings is basically all the foods that you eat stimulates the sensual lust, and that's why monks are not allowed to eat in the evening. So this is the one of the things that, the more you think about it, the night becomes longer and longer, and this is what we have to be mindful of. And so these are the three thoughts that normally harbors in us. Like in the morning, normally we will have the selfish thought that, okay, what I'm going to do, and then after doing it, what I'm going to get. And rather than what I'm going to give, normally we think of what I'm going to get. Okay, again, when we look at our life, how much we give and how much we get, we realize that the amount of things that we get is far more greater than what we provide or what we give to the others. So that's why Buddha encouraged everyone to practice giving. It doesn't matter how small that is, and that giving could be your time, giving could be your energy, giving could be your advice, and giving could be your financial support, or even just giving a path, giving a smile. Doesn't matter how small that is. All matter is intention to give with kindness and compassion. And it helps to see the whole day becomes completely new day. The moment when you have the selfish desire or selfishness, and the day when you begin your day with the selfishness or selfish desire, then what happens is that throughout the day you will be calculating all the pennies, all the actions that you have taken, and what have you received or what you have got out of it. So probably it's like becoming a proper businessman who will have no any thoughts of kindness and compassion apart from gaining, after selling it or after doing it, how much am I going to get, how much I'm going to get the profit of, and so on. So that's why it's very important that if we are starting our day with how much I'm going to share, how much I'm going to help, and then whole day becomes so fruitful and beneficial um, to the others, and as well as it is helping you to grow in the spiritual path as well. And again, if we are not developing this kindness and compassion in early morning, what happens is that throughout the day, whenever we heard of somebody's success, heard of somebody's prosperity, heard of somebody's gain, what happens is that we, rather than rejoicing and celebrating, we will encourage ourselves to have envious thoughts. And that won't be healthier. And with that, anything that you take, anything action that you take, that will be led by your mental envious thoughts, and which will not be beneficial for your personal health wise, not only the physical health but also your mental health, and that will affect you. And not only that, you will be spreading that envious thought of how to destroy or how to damage, and so on. So that's why the day when we began our day with the kindness and compassionate thought towards oneself and then to others, then this thought of envy will not be there. Rather than envious thought, what happens is that we will have a rejoicing thought, and emotionally we become balanced. We will be able to deal with the situation. We will be able to deal with the conditions and what we are going through, what's happening. And whenever somebody's success or somebody's prosperity or somebody's fame we heard, rather than we become envious, we will be celebrating and rejoicing and appreciating their success. And life become a much, much greater and become so happier compared to a person who is holding the envious thought. He will be becoming a miserable. The way he is or she is talking will be miserable, and the way he or she is acting with this envious thought will be even more miserable. Because when our heart is polluted, our face expression changes too. The moment when your heart is full of kindness and compassion, happy, chappy, welcoming, giving a good hospitality, then that radiates from your face. Yeah? Because your heart is pure, heart is full of kindness and compassion, heart is full of welcoming. And that radiates from your face. So immediately when people see you, then, this person so nice. Right? It's just like seeing you, they will feel like welcoming. It's like seeing Emma, and then she's so nice, she's so happy, and then want to talk, want to be friend, want to be closer, like that. So that's all changes. And with that, what happens is that again, rather than this have a thought of essential pleasure and sensual lust, what happens is that there is a mutual respect, and then respecting one another develops. And that is the great qualities that we can develop in our practice. We become more mindful of our own thoughts. We become mindful of our own speaking and working, or doing, physically doing. And this awareness simply enhances the life that we are living. So we physically become more healthier and mentally become more happier. So we can go to sleep without any trouble, because there is no such any negativities at all when we are going into the bed. And with that, having a good sleeps, we will have good mental sleep as well. The mind also goes in a deep sleep. Our mind is disturbed because we have a wrong thought, thinking wrongly. And that those thinking wrongly is basically based on a selfish desire or selfishness, which causes this envious and ill will and those thoughts, and a restless mind with the sensual lust thoughts. obsessed by with that. The heart is fully obsessed with it, and that moment, physically and mentally, can be troublesome. But the moment when we become aware of that and are mindful of it, obviously we will be able to overcome it, and we become a very handsome. We become a very handsome, or we become very beautiful, and although Yvonne is saying that she's become different and grumpy or emotionally impaired because of a menopause, and I think, is that excuse? But anyway, right? So basically what happens is that we become a beautiful inside and outside. Right? We become a beautiful inside and outside, and we will be rich inside. Although materially we may be poor, and we have at least of a roof over our head, and there is food on our table, and but mentally we will be very rich. All right. So Emma also copying Yvonne now. Okay. What about me? If I become a grumpy, should I call myself I am in menopause? So, and with that, we become a virtuous. We become a virtuous as well. Ethically, we will be living a happy life, and mentally, we become so happy. All right. Okay. So I can, if I become a grumpy and if I'm shouting, I can say as well. Oh, for Margaret, it's a middle life crisis. Okay. Excuses are accepted unless you are not doing to me. Okay. So anyhow, these are some of the things that normally we have and causes troubles in our community and in our families and in societies. But the moment when we can overcome these three the qualities, it's like the selfishness. If we can overcome this thought of a selfishness, envy and jealousy, ill will thoughts, and even essential lust, then we basically become basically become virtuous, and life become much happier. Margaret is saying that thank goodness I'm happy. Right, okay. So that means that today everyone going through a difficult time, yeah, and everyone is having a menopause. For me, throughout the day, I've been talking to so many people in Thailand, in Nepal, and here in the UK, and also organizing other events, talking and giving talks. And with that, late, I was feeling really tired, lethargic, and a feeling of a little bit grumpy. And later on, I realized that I need something to do, so I went to clean my toilet. As Margaret said, just paint your fence. Okay, that's a next plan. Okay, so with that, it is not a menopause. It's just me. And I hope that everyone is enjoying and having a wonderful time. Okay, so with this explaining of these three qualities which may bring misery in this life and the life after, I will end here for tonight's reflection and the talk. And thank you everyone for engagement, and particularly this thought of a menopause, and now I will remember this, so I can practice next time. So with this, may you all be well and happy. In a few moments time, we're going to have an evening chanting and guided meditation. You're most welcome to join with us. Okay, until then, good night and see you shortly. Sadhu.